Kat Matthews' year has been far from smooth, but she's on track to make it the best year of her career. Can she take that top spot in Nice? This is day 5 of previewing the Women's Ironman World Championships, and over the past week I've been previewing the race, starting with breaking down each of my top 5 favourites to take the win. That's Lucy Charles-Barclay, Annie Haug, Kat Matthews, Laura Philipp and Chelsea Sodaro. For me, these are the athletes that have a clear chance to take the win, and I'll be reviewing their season so far, seeing where they fit into the race dynamics and making my predictions. And today we've got Kat Matthews. At the start of the season, she made her intentions very clear. She's going to race both the Ironman Pro Series and the T100 Series. She was the only big name athlete to commit to both, and she was going all in on the Ironman Pro Series. She's already raced 7 times this year, the tied most in her career, and she's still got 5 races left to go, including the World Championships in Nice. She's raced the most of any of my top 5 favourites, and she's the only one that's had to race since London T100 as she chases points in the Ironman Pro Series. She kicked off her season in Miami and looked on track for a podium until she quickly pulled up on the run with what turned out to be a calf tear. Now this could have completely derailed her blockbuster season, but remarkably she made a quick recovery and was able to race at Ironman Texas just 6 weeks later. Like the rest of her season, this race was far from smooth. She picked up a penalty on the bike that dropped her from the chase pack, but she rallied and was able to ride back through the field, coming into T2 in 5th. Her run was the big question mark coming into the race, but she was able to put together a 3-hour run split with a bit of walking thrown in to take the win and claim the full 5,000 points in the Pro Series. Up next, Ironman Hamburg, where she was looking to log her second full distance score in the Pro Series, but her race was cut short. After overtaking another athlete in a no overtaking zone, she picked up a DQ. The roller coaster continues. She didn't hang about, and after previously withdrawing from San Francisco T100, she was able to get back on the start list, travel across the world without that Ironman fatigue, and race that T100 race just 1 week later. A decision that paid off massively as she picked up 2nd place only behind Taylor Knibb, and she was so strong on that hilly course, which could bode well for Nice. Even though those climbs in San Francisco were short and sharper compared to those longer climbs, it's still a very good sign. After the disappointment of Hamburg, she needed to score that 2nd Ironman score to make sure she was contending in the Pro Series, and she opted for Ironman Vitoria. She was the clear favourite coming into the race, but she still had to back it up on the day, and she took a comfortable win ahead of Els Visser and Ruth Astle. She continued to jump between the different series, racing London T100 only a few weeks later, and she backed up her performance from San Francisco, picking up 3rd and getting the better of Laura Philipp again, this time in a battle for the last spot on the podium. This time it was the run that was the deciding factor, and Kat Matthews was able to drop the German, outrunning her again, and will we see the same in Nice? Both times they faced off this year, Matthews has got the better of Philipp, and all my top favourites were racing in London, and Kat Matthews came out on top. Like I said, she's the only one of my top 5 favourites who's had to race since London T100 in July. She headed out to 70.3 European champs in Tallinn to chase those points in the Pro Series, but came up against Caroline Pohl, who had the race of her life and took the win. Kat had to settle for 2nd, but she only dropped 179 points, so it wasn't a complete disaster, but she did lose that perfect score. That moves her to the top of the Pro Series standings when you consider the best 2 Ironman scores and 1 best 70.3, a great position to be in heading into the World Championships in Nice, and a good result there, and she'd have 1 foot on the top step of the podium. Coming to the race dynamics, where's Kat Matthews going to have an impact on this race? Now we'll start with the swim, and I think Kona 2023, the Ironman World Championships last year, is a very good race to look at for how this swim could play out. So I put together how I think the different swim packs are going to form in the race, and out front we've got Lucy Charles-Barclay, then you've got a chase pack behind with some of the best swimmers like Lauren Brandon, Lottie Wilms, Rachel Zelinskis, and then we've got this second big chase pack, and that's where we're going to see a lot of the favourites like Kat Matthews, and I think we'll have Annie Haug and Chelsea Sodaro in there as well. And then this third pack further back, I think that's where you'll see Laura Philipp. So you look at that second pack of swimmers, and Kat's going to be coming out of the water with some strong riders like Lisa Norden, but I'm expecting her to be one of the strongest riders in the field and go to work on the bike and move away from Annie Haug and Chelsea Sodaro. I thought we'd see Daniela Ryf in this pack, and I was really excited to see Kat Matthews and Daniela Ryf work together and chase down Lucy Charles Barkley. But with Daniela Ryf retiring, Kat Matthews might have to do a lot of the work by herself. I think she'll take time out of Lucy Charles Barkley on the bike, but it may not be enough to reel her in because she'll probably have around a 4 to 5 minute deficit out of the water. Onto the run, and I've put together my different run tiers and sort of rough times I expect those different tiers to run. And I've got Kat Matthews in that top tier. She's probably the third best runner in the field behind Annie Haug and Chelsea Sodaro, but she'd have something to say about that. Philipp is also in contention there, but Matthews has got the better of her in San Francisco and in London, and she outrun her both times there, and I'm expecting that to translate across to the full distance, even though Laura Philipp is a better full distance runner than a middle distance runner. But Kat Matthews is going to make a difference on the bike, and she's going to have a huge impact on the run as she moves up towards the lead. She's been pretty incredible to watch this year. She seems to have breezed through the Ironman Pro Series so far and is sitting pretty in the T100 Series with those 2 podiums. I think she's a real contender to take the win. She'll come out of the water with a bit of a deficit to Lucy Charles Barkley, but she'll be with some of the other favourites and she'll have some strong riders around her. But that's where I expect her to go to work on the bike and put some time into the other athletes. I think she'll come off the bike ahead of Haug, Philipp and Sodaro, and I think she'll put down a run to stay away from them. I think this could be the culmination of the best year of her career, and I'm picking her for the win, chasing down Lucy Charles Barkley on the run. Thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow as we start to look at all the challengers who will be battling it out for a top 10 finish. See you there.